Suck.
The adventure of the unbreakable. Oh boy, never mind.
Small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view.
Oh, so I guess the guy who died was the Watson.
Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. "Baba booey, baba booey." The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
Fucking hate this Sherlock
I
Holmes
fucking
story.
hate the
Is the
speckled
terrible
band.
coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Yeah, got a lot of
1
competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this game has a Watson. It's one of the characters I'm most excited to hear read aloud.
Correct.
The barrier. Well, no one's dead yet.
Oh, excellent.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me.
He's so much
The
higher
door
than
was
I
bolted
expected.
from inside when the man was killed.
Yeah.
No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Time to use my science gun. I was joking.
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
No, there's a ghost in there.
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Dad? That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
It's not.
Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
Shut up.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
Oh, that's the
I'm a
fucking.
great British consultant
Oh, that's what's
detective, the only
Yeah.
one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Well, what the fuck is this?
So we get to do Russian accents this case too.
Nah.
That's great.
Oh, you guys, we're definitely gonna split this into 2 sittings, so
Oh, yeah.
try and keep me from going too long. Probably like whatever the second good stopping point is, we should stop. I'm just gonna assume this is Naruhodo. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. It sounds like Baines John had a stroke. Wait, I can't move.
Oh.
What the? Why am I in handcuffs? We'll see. Okay. Not me, because I'm gonna be Herlock.
It's Will.
Well,
We
Will's
have to
gotta be
break you out
the.
of
Will has to be the bigger one, right?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I'm big
I guess.
Russian.
Okay, we had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe you could not wake up. What? Oh, I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are true cold-blooded man.
You found me then.
Duh, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe,
Oh, I kind of like that the crime happens en route to Britain. That's clever. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
thought of that, actually.
Extraterritorial!
Stop. Well, yeah, we're in international waters. I love this name tag. With one of my favorite things is just nonsense script, so you don't have to bother translating it into a different language. Sorry.
I am eating cookie. Now you have been found.
That's my
It is
hand!
time to admit your crimes.
Yes,
Unless you want to find out.
in Russia we call hands cookies.
Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is,
No, I'll tell you everything. We'll find out. Isn't that? No, okay.
Why did you do it? Why did you take his life?
I guess she's British, so.
I think it's just that they didn't want to give them Japanese accents.
Fair.
I don't think.
Yeah, but she would have been learning British English if she's speaking
That's
English.
true.
now.
Mr. Zato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life. Where is he? Where's Kazuma?
LOL! Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body?
Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I
have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please!
What are these things? A grab thing? No! I don't wanna turn my gain down, so.
Yeah. Also, Steve, I'm getting some crackle from your microphone.
Oh, son of a bitch, right? Hold on, baby.
Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. God, I'm handsome. Are you?
Oh, that's you.
Yeah. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble?
Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study?
It really was something else. Oh, it was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die.
Yes, I still can't quite believe that.
Yeah, someone in chat, Mia Fey too. I saw one of those like, hello character from X, hello character from Y, and then they like morph into this. I saw just the first 2 panels of hello Mia Fey, hello Kazuma, and then it was just like, I can't finish this comic, and I was like, I see.
Yeah. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look.
Be nice to me. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Oops, I didn't see that either.
Well, but if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
This is a nice-ass cabin for, like... This is a nice cabin. It's really big. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
What I want to know
is...
Nope, that's me.
Oh.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikotoba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point. From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this.
I suppose so.
Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin.
The entire chat is just like, oh, we got some boys here. We got 2 boys in a cabin. Shouldn't we tell her? No, just the 2 of us, I think.
Let's see if you can fit in my other trunk. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze.
Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'd be in for it.
Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper?
What? Two boys chilling in the cabin. One of them is dead and they're not gay.
Then you can come out of the closet when you're ready. Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're ready. Once you're inside. Hurry! When you're inside!
I'm sorry I was doing that bit because I can feel how you were just sitting on that closet line. I don't know. Oh my god, they were cabin mates. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? Man, I would lose my fucking mind on like a 100 years ago boat voyage. What a nightmare.
Bro, that's why you gotta sing.
Gotta sing?
That's how you keep the crazy at bay.
I guess so. We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together.
We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Fucker.
No! I'm not a fucker!
No, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there's something I would like to ask of you too.
Those eyes. It's like she's really trying to read into me. I didn't see it. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose.
Remember there was a chat log button.
Right, you're right. I'm so not used to that since I'm still editing down the investigations games. It's like she's ready to destroy me. I suppose.
Oh shit.
I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened.
Oh, if only Kazuma could have destroyed me.
He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside.
Ooh, there's no window? Rough.
In other
Yikes.
words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside the cabin.
Oh my god, he was stowing away for 15 days. Holy shit.
How? Wait. There's the grating up there. The fucking snake got in and bit him. Done. Case over.
This is impossible.
Well-
I'm hoping the speckled band connection is very, very distant, frankly. I assume that's Aram? Yes. Hello, Aram.
Hey, buddy.
Everyone in chat, thank Aram for helping me build a desk today. Also, yeah, Kazuma's already dead.
Fuck.
How did he die?
Yeah, I'm out of a job.
Part of me was thinking they might not kill him off till later in the game, like he might be alive for the first case. But so it was his death the inciting action for Ryunosuke to go to Britain himself.
No,
they were stowed away.
We were stowing away inside the closet, no subtext in his cabin, and then he died, and they found me in the closet. Oops.
Wait, so you're immediate? Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna double down and have you be the defendant in every case?
No, I don't.
That'd be really fucking funny.
That would be very funny. I'm not against it. I don't think they'll do it.
Why did they stow away?
He just wanted to go to Britain with Kazuma. That's all.
Okay.
Well, it's Kazuma invited him.
How did
They didn't tell her because then she'd be guilty by association. So she's here like, you fucking killed him.
How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Sosato-san, you have to tell me.
No. The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means...
Something.
There were no obvious external signs of injury then.
That's true, yes.
Why does this girl have a British accent?
She just did in the voice acting, so...
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Civ's excuse is that she learned British English and none of us feel comfortable doing a Japanese accent. So, I'm very lightly leaning on it by like hitting my percussives a little bit harder for Ryunosuke, and that's as far as I'm gonna go. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. And I started to become worried, so I went and found a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, he was having a nap. There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
And we're on a Russian boat, so the crew have Russian accents. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, all right.
Why you do this?
My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Yeah, let's tell her that I was a stowaway.
Why are you even aboard this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
What does Naruhodo mean, again?
I see.
Ah, okay. Naruhodo.
Naruhodo.
Naruhodo. The best thing about Hunter x Hunter. Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
Oh, okay. I thought since her face changed, that was
Yeah.
her. No. That would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together to get married.
So gay. I love him.
He actually asked you?
Why didn't he ask me to the dance?
Why?
Probably because you have a vagina. I'm afraid I don't really know the reason
Show
myself.
Bob's and Vagine.
I don't understand.
Hey, welcome to
Sound like
Bob's
the-
and Vagine.
That sounds like the minions for like a dark wizard. Showbobs, Vagine.
Yes, my lord. Oh, yes, my lord. Yes, your shit.
Yes, your shittiness. Yes, your dicklessness. Whatever you say, shit lips.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
Because I want to snuggle you too. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer.
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself.
You can tell
Well-
that vent works because his hairband is going in the last direction.
That would be
London-
the key evidence.
London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Well, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level,
Man, Will, how many times have we played couples in read-throughs with these two voices? Like 50 at this point?
Yeah, no, and I'm like consistently the top.
Yeah. I don't have a top voice, Will.
I won't say it. If you were to become a lawyer, then I tried to
No!
give a nice compliment.
No,
and I was
go
like,
on! What voice, what joke were you going to make?
Say you'll always be my top.
Thanks, buddy!
Nothing. Forget it.
You'll always be my top. Spins you, then fucks you.
Spins you and fucks you.
First I spin my top.
But yeah, bombs! Spin them and fuck them!
I can't finish it, man. I just inhaled a glob of mucus.
Gay blade, just the tip.
Wow.
Stop it! Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing.
Guys, I'm not gonna be doing a highlight cut down video of any of this game, so if you want these moments, it's up to you to clip them.
This is your problem now.
Seriously, I gotta recover.
We killed Sid!
Just a couple of cute boys.
Just shut the fuck up! He wanted to change the Japanese legal system.
Oops.
I was slipping a little bit into Breath of the Wild Zelda there. Whew! Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Do what? Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean, and nothing else.
If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect,
It
in
seems
fact.
I got the consumption from Hosonaga-san while I was here.
Jesus Christ.
If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin?
I can't explain that.
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. His dick. And then I got myself in there.
Meat and two veg.
And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that,
And I blindfolded and gagged myself as he always
All
made
right.
me do.
And then you fell asleep, and nothing else happened.
well, yes. Boyfriend Chow!
I did see that. Yeah.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed.
Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. What are these things? If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head, I've never, like, heard this phrasing. My head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Probably because I kicked you out of frustration.
I see. You've been bumped on your noggin.
A monka.
Meditate me peepers, it's me noggin.
Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it.
Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it!
Or was it toxic gas?
I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this.
I'm playing
Also, Siv, I think your microphone's still cracking.
Son of a bitch! Why this happen? Hold on.
Kazuma.
It might just be a gain thing.
I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh! I can't take this!
Looks down at the outline. Kazuma, why did they saw off your fingers and toes when they killed you?
It's a Russian cookie. Oomph. Wow, I guess that's what an oomph sounds like in Russian.
Listen, we made sure his corpse was outlined fancy. See, pinky's out right there.
Don't try to go anywhere!
He was fancily setting down a teacup when he was killed.
You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen!
Whoa, is this the first time they've ever shown POV your hands in a Phoenix Wright game?
Yeah, so our protagonist, his name is Naruhodo, which translates to Ethan Winters.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me.
Whoa!
Hiya!
Oh, shit.
What the? Man, I really hope Susato's, like, I like her so far. I hope she stays good because, like, I really want a good assistant lady. They're so uncommon in this franchise.
That was a Susato takedown.
Aram, do you want to take her over while Civ is mic fiddling?
I
Susato.
forgot to unmute. I have been here.
Oops. What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry, prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I was only able to do that because you came in clutch. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime.
Just hands her a fucking piece of paper that's like, I am Kazuma's friend!
Oh yeah, I guess if he was in here, this would have been ripped. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep there. What does it say? Bottom. Bottom jail. Just
sometimes.
Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
What if I were truly the culprit? Oh, if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
I mean, if he has no signs of external injury, he might have been poisoned, in which case you very easily could have poisoned him and then been like, oh, I'm going to bed, and then...
It's fine.
Hush, hush, hush. That's not going to happen till halfway through the case, Aram. I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up?
Oh no, you belong there on the floor.
I know. That's what Kazuma always said.
Let's not talk about him, it'll make me cry! Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me? No. He was murdered with
sorry.
this blunt object. What is this strange thing? Put that away. Men getting pegged.
Oh my god, guys.
This bag is filled with black dildos. And is this Axe body spray? I like to smell like an axe.
I'm sorry, no!
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
What does she think I am, a magician?
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
All right, let's get to work, Susato-san.
Please, don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure that you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to disturb evidence, for example.
Right. Well, anyway.
Don't you use your heebie-jeebie voodoo magic on me.
Okay.
I'm Presbyterian, Miss Susato.
Okay. Does she have expendable dialogue?
Converse.
Nope.
Is that a severed arm?
It's
No.
a chicken wing.
It's a chicken wing or something.
Okay.
I think he'd look at the sword first.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly.
Yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, okay, this is just a tutorial.
Yes, let's do that.
Oh, they give you a check mark. Oh, I love that.
Oh.
Thank you. One of the...
I'm sorry,
magnifique!
this is the first time they've implemented such a simple feature?
No, Dual Destinies and, this is the nicest it's ever looked, but Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice also have very nice quality of life improvements in the investigation segments, which is why I think those games are better than a lot of the original games, even though, like, some of their writing isn't as tight. They're just not as bullshit.
A little bit of pink?
It's like half of a bell. What do you think
Yeah.
this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two.
Oh, did Kazuma cut it in half?
Yo!
The glass is such a beautiful color.
Oops.
It looks like a cute little Natsuke fastener from a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He surely wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he?
And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. This is a very crazy-looking crime scene.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Wow, you got a roast chicken on a cross-sea... Like, wow, I'm impressed.
Fuck.
You guys still got chickens alive after 15 days?
I
Yes,
mean,
it was
yeah.
very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. Not unless asked. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
I really hate this. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right, so he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? That's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Tummy hurty!
I bet there was, like... I bet there were drugs in the chicken and you ate all of it.
Yeah,
and that's why you're so
and it was
fucked
chicken
up
for him, and someone was trying to kill him.
That sounds about right. I was wondering if I could grab the knife separate from that, but no.
Yeah, I think even highlighting it, it mentioned that it was checkmarked.
You are right. I haven't... Okay.
I think it's, if it's blue, then there's
Yeah,
nothing.
like that.
And,
I
and
thought
when
it was
it's-
I thought it was the reverse. I'm not used to the symbolism yet. Seiji. That's our friend who voiced Howie. the Japanese word for
Well,
justice.
now I understand.
Oh, I didn't know that either. The Japanese word for justice. That makes
If
sense.
you're here, you clever man.
What a cool dude.
Is that his, like, screen name?
Yeah,
No,
it's
well,
Seiji VA on Twitch.
Ah, nice.
Seigi. Seigi Mugi. The brushstrokes are
Seigi Megi.
The brushstrokes are straight and true, 50% like Kazuma. Oops.
Straight and true
Yes,
like
his
Kazuma. Huh?
calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? You monster! Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully.
Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win.
I like this mildly antagonistic relationship because it reminds me of Rafa. From
the
Styx,
best
who was-
assistant.
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, the only assistant who has a good dynamic with Nick. I've investigated thoroughly. Blah blah blah. Let's look at this. I don't know. Fire marshal's warning. What is this? These are the rules of passage for for travel. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. It's essentially a list of.
Essentially a list of requests.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Lightly taps your wrist.
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers aboard.
Wow, y'all actually like Rafa, thank the gods. Yeah, some people don't like her, and that is insane to me, because she's so much better than most of the series' other assistants. She's just a Minika, and I'm here for it. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Oh no. There's jokes
Wait
to
to
be
see
made.
the animal smuggler that's gonna exist.
What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you a dangerous subject?
Go ahead, Jello.
The joke's already there. I don't have to make it.
I consider
I
myself
can't
a
decide.
dangerous pet.
Do you have fucking rabies, you freak?
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Oh man, this joke's a little too easy. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the crime scene. Excuse me. Aram,
What the fuck you want?
Aram, this
Yeah,
should
Aram,
be
take
you,
this now.
since there is a larger Russian crewman.
What?
I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean.
Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see.
Sorry?
The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime, very funny.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
Niet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I see no more to you. Read my name tag. And lim.
Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. I need to look for a new boyfriend, so I'm open. Oh, that's me. I'm not used to it
That's you.
being... I'm always expecting it to be Naruhodo, and it never is, so... The books have fallen over by the shelf. Look, they've toppled all the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
And next to it is a pocket watch that says Memento Mori.
Let's not investigate that. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down all at once.
I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
And perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way
World's smallest tantrum.
Okay, I'm going back in the closet. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? I like how mild these two are. Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Wow, look at the books they fell over.
Mr. Edgeworth!
She did that, not him.
Oh, sorry. God, I want to scroll back up because I was talking to Civ about like why K dialogue is bad, and you generated
I'll
some.
find it.
Yeah, can you find it? You generated some really good fake K dialogue.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Duh! What's an elevator? What does it elevate? Your spirits?
Jesus.
That's very much how she talks. It's just, and then Edgeworth is always like, no, it does nothing of the sort. Some bad pun that doesn't translate correctly said to myself, question mark blue text, and just everything is that, and it's like, shut up. Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this special. Whatever. Be nice to me. I was brought on board inside that case.
Yes, I see. It says this way up in Japanese.
Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't have been able to read. I was turned over and over and over, then I was tossed on the floor in here. Just everyone in chat, Veshul, typo in the group chat, get his ass!
A bonka, haha, attacker you, attacker.
Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, depends who you're stowing away with. It was less painful than a Susato takedown. I also like that she does, like, martial arts. That's cool. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the paper to collapse.
Table
I
pulble.
suppose...
A beer.
Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spinach. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt
the
he was in
spillage. I
terrible
thought you
pain.
said in the spinach.
That's me spinach. No doubt he was in terrible pain.
I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing.
I wish I had a Cyrillic keyboard so that I could translate what that says into Google.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Oh, right, he can't read, whatever it is. Then what language is it?
Flip these numbers upside down. It says Leon.
Everyone in chat,
It
partner,
pains me to
partner.
admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder?
Hey you, Russian man.
No, never talk to me. I punch you. I punch you.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat wherever he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though his last entry is incomplete.
Which means what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
That's out of the question! Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts!
God, I super get the like dynamic of she had a huge crush on Kazuma and is just like a little bit aware of what was going on and is like kind of bitter about it.
It's fair.
But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? I love that he just gets flipped, doesn't even make an ow noise, is just like, oh man, and continues talking to her on the floor.
Again?
Upside down. Alright, I won't read it. He's pretty
I
cute.
will read it for you.
God, I love liking my protagonist. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys were here for Civ and my Layton versus Ace Attorney playthrough, but like, the joy on our faces when Layton and Luke were the focus, you could watch in real time as the happiness drained from us as it switched back to Maya, and we're like, no.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Oops.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that
Kazuma
a little...
died of COVID.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to, you're right.
And it happens to be snake-sized. Perfectly for a snake. Perfectly for an adder. Irene Adder slinks through the vent. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true.
Chat, a revolving vent!
Perhaps it's so rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that.
I suppose. Maybe that's it. What?
What?
I'd love to be him, but Aram is here, and it feels dumb not to assign Aram to this man. His voice is surprisingly high. You know, who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be a European.
Oh, how did he...
You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he... Oh, I whistled there by accident
I love that she actually has a looking at the background.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall!
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? Is she a Sherlock Holmes fangirl? That's actually very cute.
Oh, she's cute.
I love that facial expression.
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people when they're in crosshairs, you can converse with them.
All right, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
Hey, nerd.
This is so silly.
That's our boy. When this case started on the ship, I assumed we weren't gonna see this guy.
He was in the
third
opening
game.
cutscene very briefly. He's the one who found us. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you have a moment?
Is this who I think it is?
Yes.
Yes. You're Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, well, no, he isn't. He's Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is a critical point in my investigation.
Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Ryunosuke is 5'6". Oh boy.
Oh, little man!
5'6", but don't let it get to me. I'm in a summer camp, and my friend with a katana. You know the
No,
rest.
no.
My friend
Don't
with the
go
katana
there.
says, "Don't be such a silly little boy." Instant. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long.
God, he's such an Aram character. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now?
Ah, I see. Fascinating.
Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Side note, anytime a character has pupils shaped like this, I love them immediately. I know this isn't really his eyes, but the clover shape is so cute. Hu Tao, Nia.
Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken.
Unfortunately.
Fuck you, Conan Doyle, they said in caps.
Sorry, what?
And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament.
Was Afghanistan established in this point? Like, I mean, it was... I guess it must have been, because that's where Watson had a tour of duty. Okay. It's just a little earlier than I... Like, it's like 20 years too early in my brain, but I don't know anything about that area's history. Oh, well, that's true, at least. Yeah, oh yeah, he's... I believe the gameplay with Sherlock Holmes is he walks in and goes, Assumption! 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 And then you have to go, actually, dude, that's wrong. Amazing!
Yeah.
So he's like Lang, but if Lang were a cute, dumb himbo.
But how...
How deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary.
Hey, careful there, Sholmes. No Golden Kamuy spoilers.
You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes.
Someone in chat says, "At me, but interesting." Luke at me is perhaps the most Aram character in all of Ace Attorney. I cannot hear anyone else reading him, and I've never heard Aram read for him before. Especially his double, like, "Here I am, the clown!"
The clown!
Just to be clear, you are talking about me, aren't you?
Certainly I am. Ha! Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name?
I don't even see one person who fits the bill.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
Susato, no! What?
I'm stupid.
I think she just likes.
a revolution too.
I think she just likes Herlock Sholmes.
It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked.
No, listen. There's no. Oh, okay.
Can't be throwing bodies around in a scene like
I will
this.
do as I please. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, I was hoping we would get upside down Herlock Sholmes there.
Oh, it's.
Her crush is clouding her judgment.
I know we
How
keep.
could you do it?
I know we keep saying shit to this effect, but like, really, you guys don't know how it feels to be like enjoying an Ace Attorney cast after so long. Oh my god. For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary! Obviously!
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. This fucking JoJo poses!
But was I not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not?
Well,
What are you, a fucking tarot card reader? Get your ass out of here.
well, yes, maybe.
Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, hmm?
Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation.
Indeed, and observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction.
Someone in chat asks, did I finish part 7 since my long thoughts on JoJo? Oh, did I not read it by that point? Yeah, part 7 is like easily and objectively the best written part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which makes part 8 all the worse after you finish part 7.
My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right.
I don't think you introduced yourself.
Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes.
That's so fucking funny. What a slap in the face. I love it.
I love how unapologetically hot he is. He's like a character from one of those gacha games that just takes historical figures and will like turn George Washington into a big titty anime girl.
The Herlock Sholmes?
The very same. The inimitable actual Herlock Sholmes.
Do you know this man, Susato-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san! Of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him!
What planet have I been living on, then?
We must ask him what he's deduced.
This is a really good
He
theme.
will
I'm
have
gonna
worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
turn up the audio
I like
just
her
a
tiny
little.
hands.
They're tiny.
I like everything about Susato so far, actually.
Yeah.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Hello, handsome.
Hey!
So, you're a great detective, are you?
Sorry, what was your name again?
Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Sholmes.
Oh, I see. You're German. Herr Locke, was it?
No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes.
This is a really good read.
You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh yes, Ronst magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain.
Sorry, adjusting the music again. I just wanted to hear it for a minute.
I never miss an issue. I got them all, every one of them.
Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. So,
In high school, I had a
Huge crush on Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my god, no. No, I was reading through all the Sherlock Holmes books in high school, and that was presented to me in the form of one giant fucking book. It was
same.
literally like, it was like bigger than my fist in terms of like thickness, and it was just like this big, like, nondescript hardcover book, and I was carrying it around for like the months I was reading it. And on a day that I had to go to job shadowing with my mom, I was sitting in the break room, and one of the old ladies walks in and sees me reading it, and she goes, "What's that? The Bible?" That's all.
That's funny.
so you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then?
Indeed I am.
I love that this universe has the actual books that exist as well. That's very funny.
And you've read so many of your own stories, you're starting to think you really are a detective?
Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fool you take me for. Your inference is backward.
Backward?
My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine.
You have a biographer, do you?
Doesn't everyone? My ha 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 ha. He's dead.
Dr. Wilson?
I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Shasha, why this very moment, I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown.
Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not.
Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
A science?
Really?
The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data.
Right.
And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye.
I'm a strategian, you could say.
A strategian, yeah. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth.
Gravity's rainbow, you see.
As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago.
How can he look me in the eye and claim that?
So you see, I have a turn for both observation and for deduction. And fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Sholmes.
Okay.
Did you do it?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they bigged up having Sherlock Holmes in their game, and he was just the murderer in case 2?
Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet?
Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime.
I'm hard to spot in a crowd, you know. Not very distinctive.
Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Sholmes was on board.
If you were like a master detective and you were on like a days-long trip, would you be like relieved to have a case happen to give you something to do, or like fucking annoyed? Like, god damn it, I was going on vacation and now everyone expects me to deal with this shit.
It depends if he's in the middle of his career or near the end.
And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me.
Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? 2 facts? The famous 2 boats twist. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? I don't remember.
Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me.
Yes,
God,
yes,
you
I
fucking
understand, but
cheeseball.
what are they?
Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance.
Hold on, Mr.
God,
Sholmes.
you're stupid.
What made you think the victim was Russian?
Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor.
Someone in chat, the second boat is actually a mirror.
The second boat is your boat. The same boat.
It's a good boat.
Bob, that is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Let me see how you pronounce that.
Up here.
Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian.
Kazuma was Russian, was he? Do you think they're speaking Japanese right now?
Initially, I considered Garderob may be the name of the killer, a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interests of
Garderob is how they pronounce it.
Garderob.
But in the interests of thoroughness, I decided it would not be wrong to look inside the wardrobe there at least.
Oh, this is me. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo?
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer.
Why is it that I'm Russian too?
I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted, and if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
See, when she's stupid, it's for a reason and it's a character quirk instead of just being stupid. I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong.
I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed.
Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? I want to look at that real quick. Since this game punished me earlier, I'm gonna be doing this every time for the rest of the game.
I was gonna say it looks like it's raining.
Yeah.
What a terrible day for rain.
Fingy.
Well, it looks like he was about to try and write something else. Like, add on to it.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes?
What, pray?
You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia, and all of that.
Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? I don't know, just...
Cohejo! Certainly, if it interests you. Apologies to any Russian-speaking audience members. I'm just going to read it like it was English and be wrong.
How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before? Things you concluded about me, I mean.
Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in.
Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part.
Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai.
Boo!
Wait, how do you have the morning paper on a boat?
This vessel made...
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
This vessel made a port call at
Oh.
Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered.
Since when was Kazuma a Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who would kill the very man who had helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik.
No, no, no! How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man! Just look at his face!
Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all.
Someone says the Russian Herlock said translates to, of course, Naruhodo, but in Russian. Naruhodo.
Shah. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well.
Please.
And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more?
Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower?
Why, my dear, I made it up.
Ah, yes. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder?
She's very cute. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan?
Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan.
Man, poor Afghanistan, it can't catch a fucking break. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place.
Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction.
Oh, thank you.
I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby.
Besides you, of course. Stinky.
And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well.
I may. Oh, can I? Yeah, there we go.
I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian.
No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says.
Oh,
he's so cute. Oh,
He's
no.
so handsome.
The pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai.
Yes, you told us that before.
It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale.
His wig is his beard.
Not again. Not again. I'm not strong enough.
Oh my goodness, he is fearsome!
Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he?
The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only shave it off.
I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Flipper, 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 flipper.
Ah, yes, the famous dolphin. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Once again, I
Once
say,
again.
what a game to be bisexual for.
Words out of my mouth.
Siv and I fanning ourselves on a lounging chair. Oh my! It appears
Goodness me.
appears a mystery. A mystery has fallen at our feet. If only there was someone to deduct around me. This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think?
She is very pretty, isn't she?
Oh, she's a
Suppose
child?
you enjoy-
Fuck.
Dang it.
Alright.
I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you?
Thanks for subscribing, but please don't support me on Patreon instead. You get more rewards and I get more of your money. It's not my fault. She looks like an adult.
No, she does. She looks the way they draw adults.
All right. I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, that's a child, you fucks.
If I don't get you for the murder, I'll get you for pedophilia. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents.
MI6, open up. Oh, thank you. He pops
Take
up.
a seat over there.
He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. He's been standing right there, man.
It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing.
I'm sorry. Prima ballerina is her occupation, not her name, right?
I assume.
Okay.
We will find it.
She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova.
Why are Russian names so hard to remember? Said the Japanese guy.
It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles, nearly $7.
Oh, how much is... Well, you just told me.
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money.
Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves.
The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry.
What's the pun? I think it's a gender swap of Nikola Pavlova, which is a name I recognize but don't remember who that actually is. Yes, I'm not surprised.
The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be the Russian thing to do.
I'm not going to even dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
You racist pedophile. I mean, I'm not interested in her. She's not my type. Anyway, before you rudely opened up that newspaper in front of me, on the back,
cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret.
Yep, we did this. Well, that's nice the game told us this time. Oh, I'm Ryunosuke. Sorry, I was looking at chat. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you?
Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
I mean, it told you last time, too. Yeah, like 4 lines of dialogue before an unreadable prompt.
Observe, for a moment, the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text.
London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But... Fuck, I keep glancing at chat when I think it's Holmes and I'm wrong. Oops. You snooze, you lose, fucker. I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people.
Tragic, and something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading.
You mean you've read it already?
It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese.
Oh, okay, we're speaking English. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair.
Anyways, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray, be precise as to details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese.
I can't read kanji. Fuck.
A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed.
I guess that's supposed to be a...
But this diary is littered with, complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. You were right, Sith.
Oh.
What
he's
chicanery.
he's so cute. So what was
He's
all
a very
that?
cute man.
So what was all that showing off before about then?
If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm much obliged, my dear madame.
The final entry here in Kazuma-san's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
A whistling sound.
These are very deep waters. Pray, do go on.
The second sentence reads,
Boo!
1:55 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled burn is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never even heard that expression before.
Will Jello ever not simp for a character? I didn't like anyone in the investigations games.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin.
Yes, the adjoining cabin. Okay. You did simp for Edgeworth and Gumshoe. That's not what simp means, guys. We made jokes about them being a couple. You know what simp means, right? I'm 27. You should be more up to date on the slang than me. I assume everyone
I
here is.
believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Stop debating what the word simp means.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writings in this diary have piqued my interest.
Why do you hate the speckled band story? It's just boring.
It's boring.
It's boring and it's a dumb twist. It's also fairly, if I'm remembering correctly, it's a little racist towards the Romani people. I'm pretty sure the majority of the story is using a group of traveling people nearby who play in a band as the red herring, and it's like, well, they're dirty, dirty Roma, so clearly they're the murderers. It's like, It's been like 10 years since I've read it, though, so...
The
That's
matter
basically
warrants
it.
further Wow.
Sorry, I thought you already read it.
The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And, if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold.
Oh, I believe buddy.
Me too. I get seasick
Buddy.
really bad.
You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough.
Do you think that perhaps that we could go with you?
No, that would be somewhat complicated.
What? But why?
A simple glance at your wrists should reveal the answer.
You can read palms? Oh, these.
After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter, no?
There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point.
You must be joking! You just said it! Only a moment ago!
Oh, I forgot to give you the patch notes. I've changed my mind.
I've updated the autopsy report.
I
Dear
time
me,
traveled to erase the recording.
You are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange.
I must have been
wouldn't have-
possessed.
I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really.
So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are.
Well, anyway, that was then and this is now.
What do you mean?
What I mean, sir, is this.
Kiss me.
If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate.
Now he's just being plain rude.
Oh, I slay myself.
And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for?
Huh?
We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about the— Oh, fuck!
After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up?
You're
You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
I wouldn't say roll over. I think we still— Sorry, I was looking at chat. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
Oh, you didn't break those.
No, the situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real
I
culprit to
like
justice.
this comment in chat. She broke all of my bone.
Okay.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in our own secret hideout.
Oh, one of the characters says a slur in case 3. Is it— Can you tell me which one? I mean, don't type it out, obviously, but the trouble was I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So, yes, I basically did have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
Oops, my bad. No, sadly not. Not in this version of the game. Okay, it was back when it was a fan translation.
Yeah, I would be pretty surprised if they kept a slur in this game, specifically that one.
This is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
Please don't
Can't
just
believe
this.
Furlock Sholmes called him a Shemplewink.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Or snakes. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try?
Yes, in the interests of cultural research, obviously.
They're very cute.
I suppose nobody comes for
Oh.
the Japanese people.
No, I'm sure that it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. Oh.
What the fuck?
I kind of like that this game isn't shying away from the fact that British people are racist as fuck.
It just makes it sad. But yeah, it is good that they acknowledge it because yikes.
Like, I don't want to say, like, it's refreshing to have racism, but, like...
No, I mean, if it serves a purpose to make a point, it's better than whitewashing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. Oops. What is it?
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No! Jesus! Jesus! What? There was some... Is it our man? Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I I guess we should pass this guy to Will, just so Will has something to do. Even though...
Oh, sure.
I'm sure the other one will appear, but then they probably won't be out together. Oh, but we already read this.
Oh, we already saw this. Yes.
Oh, I try to give Will something.
But I fucking hate that guy. Die.
When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open,
Oh, yeah.
this bolt had been firmly closed.
Huh, it's quite a small boat, and not particularly... A small boat, and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt out from across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Oh, yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
Hello. Ah.
Oh, the crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose I could try. Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling
oh my God,
like
is
I've...
it fucking Hosonaga?
Yeah, like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Still standing with his hand like that.
I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is!
Bro.
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
Hello again.
What are you doing here?
I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Stop. Nearly stopped, I hope.
Will, do you want to take him over?
I certainly can if you'd like.
I just don't like it when people are sitting with nothing to read for over an hour.
It's fine. I can work on maps and stuff.
Okay. Your call.
Yeah, I'll pop in for a little bit.
Okay.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship.
Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless... Ugh. Hello, man.
I'm leaking.
Oh, no. Leaking? Ugh! So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Why would he tell me?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
You have the same name tag as the other guy.
He
so
stole it!
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asugi
Asugi.
is
Yeah.
Asugi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for the
Jigoku?
Fucking name!
Jigoku.
His name is Hell?
Wow.
What?
Jigoku means hell!
Oh.
Also,
I'm
hi,
push-
Amy.
Hi.
Yam's been here the whole time.
Fuck.
I just don't want to interrupt, that's all.
Who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead.
Oh, what a beautiful thing to point out. Wait, does he have a fake Russian accent while undercover? Hosonaga bad Russian accent, AU.
And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asugi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
Assassinated? How could that have even been a possibility?
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities.
This is incredible.
I don't believe it! Kazuma-sama was assassinated!
Obviously, we couldn't give Asugi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
Steve in chat, I'm not Yam! Yam's not me!
Listen, I understand that there's only a wall and a foot of height separating us, but that doesn't mean...
It's...
The inability for people in my chat to distinguish between Yam, Marissa, and Civ is kind of incredible.
Is that Colleen Clinkenbeer?
Is that someone Cho?
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night every day, except for when he died.
I have watched everything you have done. Oh.
But I
You're
never
very
imagined.
passionate lovers.
But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first class, though. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asuke-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word.
I'm Ryunosuke. I'm trying to look at chat every time, and his name just like the shape, I don't know, the outline of the letters doesn't register to my brain for some reason.
We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer.
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Oops. Yes, so we need to be allowed over there.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, it has been electrified.
Killer Queen has already touched the deadbolt.
That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
Jesus Christ!
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next-door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
I like you, Hosonaga.
But I don't see how.
I love that everyone seems like a person except for Sherlock Holmes, Horlock Sholmes over here.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By
Yeah,
presenting me
present a
with
piece of evidence.
Duh.
Okay. What do you mean, duh? I don't think it was that obvious.
No. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure how to use this accent correctly.
There we go. Okay.
A present? How very kind of you.
Oh,
Naruhodo-san.
this is two separate things. Okay.
Where's my kitty cat?
Kazuma's diary.
Gotta find the boy.
I would say it's this one, right? Because, I mean, I don't think I get punished for.
What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote, "What looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill."
Can you imagine seeing a snake come out of your grill and, like, instead of, like, you know, calling for help or looking at her being like, is that a fucking snake? Picking up your diary and going, interesting, it appears some sort of snake has appeared. In fact, I'll call it a speckled band.
Was that
He's
the
like
mystery
high
of that?
out of it.
that-
Yes.
He's like high out of his mind. It's like, I don't know if that's a tie, a belt, a snake. It's a band or something, but it's speckly. I'm gonna write it down.
Kazuma really did like his post-coital weed cigarette.
They're called blunts, Naruhodo.
Oh, that must be why whenever I go undercover as hello fellow kids, they never tell me about their weed. Or I guess in this period it would be opium. Oh, wow, I really thought that was him this whole time.
Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it?
You're very astute, Inspector.
Well, it was in book. That ventilator clearly joins to the next cabin door.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was.
The hand is huge. All right, then.
He's looking at the blood, dude.
I'm stuck here until we arrive. I can't leave this cabin at the moment.
Oh, fuck.
I'm stuck
Jesus.
here. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port.
Sorry.
The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you.
Really? You're willing to do that?
Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders?
What's he going to do? Kill me? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain.
Oh, I hope the captain
But
isn't
bro.
the revolutionary, because I don't want you to die. Osanaga, I like you.
After all, I failed to keep Asuki-san safe. This is the least I can do.
Unlike in murder mystery novels, it's relatively rare for there to be multiple deaths in an Ace Attorney case.
Looks at the
Let's
one I'm
seize the
editing
moment
right
then,
now.
Naruhodo-san. Use your legs.
My
1
legs.
step, 2 step. Come on now.
Put
No.
one foot in front of the other. Wah-na-wah-na-wah. And soon you'll be walking out the... Is that a mousetrap?
It's a mousetrap.
Or is that a catapult?
Oh, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this
I have
isn't...
to admit,
Nope.
this is you.
For once,
Fuck.
I got it right. This isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Oh, and this
Turn.
is... Yeah, whatever.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin.
It's very nice of them.
Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage.
Though I guess they probably put him in first class so they could murder him with a snake or whatever.
It's a weird
Really?
spelling for storage.
Really? That must be awful. Look over there. There's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous.
Don't you dare come near me.
Oh, even if he is sitting
Fucking
down.
kill you.
Don't you even think of taking a shit.
I wasn't...
Do
What?
not point out my belly button.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
I suppose. Like people in handcuffs.
Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time.
I've roleplayed
I
that
would've thought
before,
you'd be used to-
actually.
What?
Nothing.
I
What
would've
the
thought you'd be
fuck?
used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay. Let's look around.
That book is blue as fuck. Holy shit.
It is! This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck, look.
The Bria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering!
Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Magic? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san.
It is?
They
Well.
sail really fast and the sea can't catch up.
It's true. Consider the Japanese archipelago.
The islands of Japan.
Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this
Oh,
ship.
girl, they don't float!
And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them.
Oh, to be stupid in 1895. Well, I suppose so.
I don't know enough to discredit that.
I don't know enough about archipelagos to that sounds wrong, but I don't know enough about archipelagos to discredit it. There's a huge book sitting on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it.
Yes, that looks like the ship's log.
Why is it here in a hallway? Shall we have a little look through it? What, you can just do that?
No, that's
Oh.
me. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
Huh, you wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting.
Oh,
And-
did you see that?
I didn't, actually.
Go to the log.
Oh. And nothing. No reaction at all. Thought he might appreciate the compliment. Oh man, such lovely handwriting. I'm looking for a new squeeze.
Not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Wait, Ryunosuke can read? I think he can read, like, whatever the easier Japanese script is, but not the more difficult one. Huh, I wonder why one of these is on and the other isn't.
Yeah, that's probably a thing.
Ding, 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 ding. What do you think this is?
Stop it!
It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? It's probably attached to the bell cord. Oh.
That's an emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says, press only in times of emergency.
But what if
It
I
looks
need
as
to
though
pull
it's
something
like-
out of the witnesses?
We'll keep that in our back pocket. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Whoa.
Wow. How? Oh, this I have to see.
What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it!
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. They'd throw your ass overboard.
Oh, I wish everything would just stop. This ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
If you're gonna be a dumbass.
Oh, look, a piece of cheese. Ow! A trap for catching mice.
Oh, a cookie! Ow!
Snap! Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they appear to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what's called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Oh, do they not have cheese in Japan?
Yeah.
I guess they don't have
No.
cows or goats. Yeah, no, okay. Cheese. I wonder what that tastes like.
Cheese is a pretty Western thing.
It's fairly,
You can't eat it, Naruto-san. The trap will shut on your fingers.
Really? But, I suppose you're right.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the last couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. I'm glad they split the I'm investigating idiot dumbass energy between the player character and the assistant this time.
Or you. I'll find a little snack for you later.
I miss my snack. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's.
Sorry? Oops.
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home.
These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way.
I love this expression.
it's very cute.
500 and... How many cabins are there? Okay,
Wow.
let's talk to our boy before moving on.
Can you click on that second door?
That's the room that Herlock is in, so I'm waiting, just in case it, like,
I
brings
see.
me in.
That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyways. Hello, friend. Oh, it's Benai. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? What?
You?
You have the weirdest tan.
I'm sure that's a clue of some sort.
He
You
fell
little
asleep in the sun.
you little stowaway murderer.
Be nigh the Russian guy.
That wasn't a good start, was it?
Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I am so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid?
Oh, goodness, okay. Oh,
We seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san.
I am not sailor. My mother gave me name.
Oh,
Sagler.
it is a fishy. It is a fish.
No!
I am senior crewman, Beef Stroganoff.
I love it.
Love it.
The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think.
Mr. Stroganov, about this first-class cabin area.
Here we are in finest part of Buria's steamship for very important persons.
What sort of very important persons?
Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place.
Gosh, that's amazing!
But somehow I let stupid Stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganov is not animal.
Thank you?
If I may, I was wondering,
Eh?
what, is the cabin next to Mr. Asagi's currently occupied?
I assume that's
That was
da.
duh. That was duh, not ah!
Duh.
Susato-san, did you understand that?
It sounded like "da." I think it's probably Russian for yes or no.
Genius.
Well, you didn't know.
Yeah.
It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation.
Oops. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asagi's?
His name is Mr. Grimsby?
Grimesby, I would say.
Grimes.
Grimes Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman.
A
Oh
Western
wait, is that the...
I don't.
I think I might have seen that guy's sprite before, if it is who I think it is.
I don't think I have no idea who it is.
Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy.
How can you be so sure about that?
Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands.
Like I like that a big part of this game is the fact that people are fucking prejudiced against you being Asian, and that's like a big part of the court you have to overturn. I think that's very realistic. That was harsh.
Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard?
That is none of your business.
Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there.
Well, presumably since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right?
That is not your business.
Last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov?
Da, all time, so criminals like you cannot come in or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It was dark.
It is sad about student boy.
Were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And you didn't notice anything at the time? Anything unusual?
Hit!
That's...
No, actually.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's stop. 1 second.
I'm sure they'll say. Did you understand that? It was clearly a no.
I think it was Niet.
No, that was... Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe.
I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or, oh, he looks so sad. Or sense anything was wrong in some way?
I said no!
Sorry! I'm not so sure. Oh, my crows are back. Hello, crows.
Hello.
Marissa, stop. Hang on.
Yeah, Marissa's sending me things and I'm like...
Stupid.
For chat who doesn't know, I've been feeding a little murder of crows a bunch of peanuts every day, and they come by and caw. I feel bad because it's hot here in Texas. It's like 90 every day. And crows don't, they can't sweat because they're birds. They just walk around with their mouths open like, to ventilate.
Bro, you know what you should do? You should get,
a bird bath.
a little frozen bag of blueberries for, like, smoothies and feed them frozy blueberries.
I'd rather, like, figure out a way to get them water or something just so they can cool
Well, there's
themselves.
plenty of water in blueberries. Yeah. You could just feed them a little bowl of water.
I mean, it's more... Alright. Anyway. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. What does that mean?
Is that a thing where you could talk to him again and then, like, click on him specifically for that?
Press him on it or something.
It means he was avoiding your gaze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is enough. I cannot say more.
Jello becomes Henry from Fire Emblem Awakening. God, I'd love to be Henry from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Who wouldn't?
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
Yes, alright.
Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or, as English say, when the pig flies.
Yes, I understand. I hope that's a real Russian saying. That'd be cute. Obviously, it won't be that clunky in their language, but...
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Definitely. Okay.
They just start running in circles. La 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 la.
Edgeworth running into a wall.
Yeah, thank you for the cow thing. I noticed you don't have to keep burning your highlighted messages. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Hello? Hello? Anyone? Hello? Please, God, I just want a black coffee.
Herlock Shelms comes up. Oh, it appears that they are sleeping.
No answer. Well, let's just barge right in there. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying. What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman.
I hope it was for long.
Oh, hello. Oh, you're here.
I'm about to break the door down.
Mr. Sholmes!
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
It's a metal door, bro. You're done for.
Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes! The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge?
I can help.
Can I kick?
I can help.
Shut the fuck up, Jello.
I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Not yet. Look, when we stop playing games with obviously gay protagonists... Oh.
Ooh.
Probably
so this is the part that they showed off in the teaser for E3, so I know what's going on here.
This is probably a woman, right? Since there was a scream. I'm secret Russian woman. I don't know.
Who are you?
A Western gentleman. This man... Oh, a Western gentleman. This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream.
A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin.
Not to spoil a Layton thing, but like the voice acting in the Layton games isn't that good. And there is a minor twist in the 4th game where a character is like masquerading as a boy, but I think they're like masquerading as an adult man, but they're a child or something. And it's like so obvious in the acting that I was like completely thrown off. I was like, what is this? What is this awful performance? True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here, but in that case, who was phone?
Get out, all of you, now!
I am Herlock Sholmes.
Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe?
Yes, that's me. And you are?
I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt.
No.
I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely.
The man uses that magazine like a business card.
A detective. I do not trust detectives.
We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time.
I cut her up and put her in traveling case.
Yeah, might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case?
So inconvenient to pay for ticket. Much easier to disassemble wife, put her in carry-on, pay 50 ruble, and reassemble at port of destination.
I love my Build-A-Boo. Don't be stupid.
That's really good.
How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that?
Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk.
This one time on an airplane, my parents genuinely did not want to pay for...
Bushka!
They genuinely didn't want to pay for an extra, like, plane thing for plaster, and she was like a baby, so they just put her in a suitcase.
You're shitting me?
Aren't you able to have infants on your lap?
I don't remember, but that's, something to that effect is a story they've told me, and they were just like, yeah.
No fucking way.
Don't look at me. Plaster!
Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo?
It's a pet. Yes, I'm shook.
I hope it's a kitty cat.
Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward.
So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Roylott. Is there like a pun there collectively I'm missing? Because I just keep focusing on the Grimes.
No, I think his name is a reference to
Sherlock Holmes thing. Okay. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
Fucking leave! Do not be here!
Stop, look at it, sir, remove yourself from my wardrobe.
Fucking L Death Note over here.
Shut up.
Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Sholmes.
That's what I just did, didn't I? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing in here?
Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come! Am I mistaken?
Well, no, actually, you're spot on. For once.
In chat, if he fits, he sits.
Observe closely.
Stabs him.
Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. Do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? A gun. Why? The truth, of course. Although it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh, yes, please!
Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Okay.
Pulls a small bird with a hat.
Could this man be a more...
Oh!
Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you?
What?
From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness?
American politicians in the 1960s be like... I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. Senator Joseph McCarthy.
I am giving Alucard scritches for everyone.
That's right. And Mr. Sholmes, I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
I must have complete silence.
What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that?
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions.
What do you mean?
Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear.
Aram GMing introduces any new NPC, me immediately.
Are you not?
Huh.
And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not?
Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes.
That was a great deduction?
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What ineffable twaddle! What ineffable twaddle!
Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes.
Everyone, he's cutting his beard. His wig is his beard. I think he was probably grooming a pet.
And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right.
How could you?
Could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning.
Toot toot.
Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together.
Oh, what? Hello?
Old man's identity.
Hello?
So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place
They interact. This is so cute.
is the enormous pair of shears in your hand.
And the newspaper.
Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You wanted to pick your nose with them. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have also read, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary.
If I keep throwing out bold claims, they'll be right eventually.
In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the famous Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik.
Someone in chat, is that Raisin Putin?
Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand.
This is so fun.
I hope this person is actually the runaway ballerina.
Yeah, I think it's the runaway ballerina, and she was either gonna cut up the newspaper or she's grooming a pet, is my guess.
Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime.
Someone in chat, dance, white boy, dance!
And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see.
I'm wearing fucking sunglasses!
And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare.
No, I refuse!
What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit therein.
One plaster brain.
Don't be absurd!
And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil, fuck, betrays you.
I don't know it either, but it's very rare to hear Aram not know how to pronounce a word.
Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper, for there is another most stimulating article. We turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page.
I use shadow puppetry to pick the villain's nostril. Clean.
Then I flick the booger away. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky.
I wasn't listening.
Susato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it?
Well, the story's so full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow.
Ah, yes. Since my last great caper, I was dropped upon my head from the top of Reichenbach Falls.
A little swirl upon my noggin.
I fell from the Grand Tower and lost my memory.
Ah! Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Could you come over here a moment?
Pray, what can I do for you?
This makes me want to design an Ace Attorney TTRPG. That would actually be pretty fun, I think. It's about your deductions. Would you mind?
Not at all. Go on.
Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other.
Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance.
In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do.
That's not the point. For some reason, I read that in Kenzie's voice. Oh, yeah. And another thing, that part about him abducting the ballerina.
Indeed, a truly startling revelation.
At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman.
Not just at first glance. It is too small. Clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old into that case, even if you pushed really hard.
I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she?
In which case, Jello is double cancelled.
You mean you don't... Sorry. You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15.
No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know! How could I?
Not too small for tiny Layden.
Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from that case.
Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their bodies.
Vinegar?
For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case.
Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes.
This whole thing is turning into a circus.
Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now.
He may be a buffoon.
I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off.
Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato.
It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think?
Switch some keywords in his deductions.
Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could...
Do that.
I missed that last bit. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction.
Oh, I bet Watson used to do this for him, and now he's dead.
Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind.
This man is a lot of work.
At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me.
It's not that funny.
Ah, and you, my good fellow.
Sorry?
Take a moment to look at your wrists. I've slit them.
My wrist. Ah!
Please.
What?
Oh, where are your handcuffs?
Huh? How did...
I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in my dance of deduction.
I don't believe it.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel.
It's one of my favorite old-timey compliments. You are a marvel.
And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished.
I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this.
So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. This is very cute. Okay. So do I swap out highlighted words?
So, the remember, I already said this.
Yeah, we're not going to reread it. Okay. The shears. Doesn't look like I can do anything yet. I assume I have to watch through it once and then it will tell me the mechanics. Copious beard. Yeah, the question, he's like, what?
I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard?
I mean, yeah. I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though.
It doesn't seem to be sitting right... Mr. Royla, not likey.
Which means that's wrong.
Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters.
Alright, but how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Royland.
I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Oops. Oh,
exactly.
Shit.
If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of old Mr. Sholmes' deduction there...
Then what?
Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san.
Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? Okay, I would think it's either the thing in the chat... Oh, can I not? Okay, I was gonna guess it was either that or the newspaper. Ah, well, Lamau.
Yes!
Yes! I love that! You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you support. Oh, they do it together! I love this!
You have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man.
You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair.
One still very much in her youth.
Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected.
Oh, sorry, yeah. The question then begged is this. Why would you cut off your fucking hair? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further
we're
blah,
gonna
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, we pretty much get the right idea.
This is a very cute mechanic. Much better than logic chess.
Logic chess is
You look like you're in
notably...
your element. As you dance around the room, did you sing the facts with Mr. Show?
They're actually doing this? I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything, Babaka. This is strictly business, not strict... Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, I understand. Say no more.
Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Shulm's deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all.
No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman.
Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. Yeah, we get it. We know what we're doing. We got it. Oh, well, yeah.
Yes!
Yes! The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina.
That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name.
You know what's great is he's not fighting us on any of this. He's just like, yes, you're right, I was stupid. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. He's just having exactly as much fun as Sholmes is.
Miss Nikolina Pavlova.
Ooh, careful.
Oh god.
Danger! What a nice little earring.
You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone.
You're not wrong, chat, but still 15. They didn't draw or render her with the face of a 15-year-old, but here we are. Look like a 30-year-old woman.
Now, as for my second conclusion,
Stop
you are,
shining
at
lights
this
on me,
very
please.
moment,
Over here. Okay, that's actually correct then. Okay. A traveling case. Okay, so she's not looking at this. Maybe the bottle.
This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of her eyes. So clearly she can't be hiding inside of that traveling case as well.
No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san.
What, chat? Wait, if you spell Pavlova backwards, it spells out Megan's meat! Eureka!
Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Okay. There's the bottle. Okay, the camera movement is a
the
little...
tiara.
Oh, it's the tiara.
Ah.
Oh, there's something in the trash bin too.
Wow, look at this dazzling tiara.
I've never seen anything like it. Are those diamonds real, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on!
What? Me? I mean, it's not my first time, but isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on?
No, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful.
Oh, girl. Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Okay. Oh, okay, I can just keep looking at shit. Oh, okay, whoa.
In the wastebasket underneath, there's a crumpled up thing.
The wastebasket? I actually don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's the square thing there.
Okay, yeah, the camera controls are wonkier than they probably look.
The waste paper basket?
Let's have a little look inside.
Naruhodo-san, it is poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly. We have no choice.
Oh.
There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Okay. Oh.
I mean, it's gotta be the tiara, right? Like, she stole the tiara and absconded with it.
Yeah, probably.
Yes!
Yes! Ah! The proof of your crime is surely this tiara.
I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary...
The crime you committed is theft.
Oh no!
Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you.
I don't know where...
Civ, are you here?
I think Civ might have disconnected. Yam, can you get me some word?
That was a while ago.
Ah. Yam, are you here?
I am, yeah. I'll go
Okay.
see what's up.
Oh no.
Oh, there you are. Wait, hang on.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Civ.
Are you good to go, Civ?
Let me look. Let me look and see. Yes. Hello. I am. I would like some lobster. Here.
Oh,
I have no one, no family, no friends.
No friends. I am all alone and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia? It belongs to me.
This girl is only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely.
Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now.
There's no point in hiding.
Come, let us not be hasty. There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Unsolved mysteries.
What do you mean?
Ah, we need to call in the third member of this deduction
Robert Stack.
That's right, it's me. Ancestor of Robert Stack. Robert Stack. Oops.
You have staunchly refused to open your case. To open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed.
Oh.
Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are not well suited to... Oh, okay, this is from before.
This is new.
Oh, her room
Oh,
too.
yeah.
He completely changed tack with his deduction just now.
I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you?
Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this?
Oh, the boat shifted in the night.
It's just a wild guess, surely.
Oh, do you think so?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even
Nichols,
belong
please.
to her.
Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case, and it must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree. There's only one answer.
Whatever she has hidden in that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Is a snake? It's the pet warning. Just gonna skim through this. We don't need to read it. It's a pet, right? Like, it can't...
Yeah.
I should probably look around in case there's any, like, extremely weird, obvious thing. I think it's probably this.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Fucking love Sholmes.
Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents.
As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord.
Except a killer robot, which leaves but two possibilities, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case...
is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet.
Or a killer robot.
Just puts his hand on Sholmes' like finger and lowers it. Shh, 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 shh.
No, this is the quiet time. This is Ennis time now.
I love how quickly he got into that with Sholmes. That's really funny.
Yeah. Anything to distract me from the death of my beloved boyfriend.
I think you were meant to say that at the same time, guys. No, I think only Naruhodo's mouth was moving. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were.
No, I am not Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.
Eventually.
Sholmes.
Oh, sorry. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel.
Which couldn't have been easy. The Burya is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed?
In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet, to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone.
So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin?
That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally.
More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me.
I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how you say, disgust myself so no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard, and then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was the picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
Things do indeed happen like that from time to time.
Are these two even talking about the same thing?
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world.
A tiny bird with a small head.
Finally, we get to see him. My son. Please, Don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night.
Yes, alright, I will tell you.
Well, I killed the man next door.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, wasn't it something, Mr. Sholmes' great deduction?
It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible.
Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing.
Oh, yes? What? Handcuffs!
Observe your wrists.
My...
Your hands! Cuffed again!
What? But... how?
True to my word, I have restored your shackles.
When? And why?
There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. Can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was.
It's better to go in order. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin right next door to this one last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died. He was a friend of mine.
Oh.
That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. Perhaps
Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened.
Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? One of my favorite obscure... I don't know if it's British necessarily, but a couple accents in the UK pronounce it this way. Instead of ballet, it's bally.
I am traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America.
Does
No,
anyone...
my kitty cat wants outside. Hold on, I need to...
Does anyone know what region of the UK the musical Billy Elliot takes place in? It's like, it's set in the 80s. It's about a bunch of miners who are protesting the Margaret Thatcher union busting things. Okay.
Well, it's probably the north, if that's the case.
Yeah. Is it Scotland? I think it's something really specific. All right. Okay. The boys are back again.
Oh, really?
I will never dance again.
Civ, are you here, or... I swore he was back. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna read for Civ. When Civ is back, he can pick it back up.
I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
Northern Ireland? Okay.
You wish to forget. Challenging proposition when you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own.
No money.
I have no money. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself. Yes, and the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in the cabin.
Oops.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, Yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation.
There we go.
To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but...
Conundrum.
Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose your riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday...
Sorry.
...that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Boreas stopped by no port last night.
How long until Jello stops accidentally skipping past dialogue? I think it's gonna happen the whole playthrough, because if I double tap, it's very fast. Like, it's literally like 1 frame.
I mean, there might be an option.
There isn't, I checked.
Really?
Yeah. That's it! Of course!
So how is it, pray, that you came to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
That is none of your business.
Duh.
Goldfish. Oh! A blue jay has joined the crows eating my peanuts. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something.
An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry, what was that?
It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel.
It's Angel Guy from Marissa's GameStop. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Should I make Ryunosuke also British since he's speaking British English?
If you want to give it a go.
I'll try it and see how it
once
feels.
said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. Quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Shoei. Like, man, hang on. How do you do British?
Yes, Mr. Shoei.
I don't remember how to do British. It's been so long. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened.
There you go. Now you got it.
So, the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right?
I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell any of the crew. If they find my precious...
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt.
So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it?
Maybe an adorable little rabbit?
Ah! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you?
Oh, don't they have small rabbits there, then?
May as well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken.
Really?
It's a
Consider
small
the benefit.
bird! Okay.
Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance.
So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that.
Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed.
She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I would like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. I'm so used to having a very, like, legato energy whenever I'm doing any sort of British. It's very difficult with the way I've been reading him kind of punctuated. It's interesting, though. Alright. Let's present something to her. Is it just the same thing? This is the diary of my friend who passed away.
His diary?
Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Is speckled bands? I don't understand.
It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall.
In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh! Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you, or the whistling sound, perhaps?
Oop, sorry.
I don't know anything.
Oh.
Psyche locks.
I kind of miss Psyche locks. I like them. We are coming to beat you to death. Will your boy-
Excuse me, Mr. Roylott.
Oh.
Yes, what?
Wow, she's fast.
The captain would like to speak with you. You must come to captain's quarters at once. Please.
All right, I will come now.
What?
You must leave. Now.
Oh, no, it's fine. Don't mind us.
Yes, please, don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott.
Get out!
The passenger said out, or you want me to throw you out.
I bit my tongue when I did that.
Oh
no, it's you.
It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later.
Oh, what a pity.
And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Fuck! Do we wanna wrap there? Just kind of a short session?
Yeah,
That might be okay.